Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Rob Southgate. It is time for Pour Over, the Thursday night edition, something I've been promising for a long time. And here we are. Very happy to be here. We don't want it to promote Jason's site, although you can always go see Jason's website at 10wingmedia.com. He was a guest on another show, which is why we have that. Let's switch it up. There. Find the Substack. Go to robsroundup.substack.com and you'll find Pour Over Marketing. You'll find Mic Drop, which is the podcast one I do. You'll find an Ink Blots one where I have author interviews. And I have two more in the works. I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens. I've already got comments. Let's see who's here. Hey, Chelsea. Hi. I'm so happy you're here, Chelsea. I was chatting with Erica quite a bit today, so it's good to have some Four Horsemen love happening here. Since it is happy hour, I mean, I'm totally like, here, I should show this too. Boom. There's Chelsea. Chelsea, I got something I want to talk about. I'm going to bring this up later in the show when we have more people watching, but you are doing a thing to be like the face of horror or something. I know I read it. I think I voted, but I'm going to want you to describe it. I don't know. It's your choice. You can either type it up in here or, and I can share it later, or if you want, I'm happy to do a split screen and have you come on and promote it. Whatever you want to do. So I know you've been doing quite a bit with marketing lately, jumping in on a lot of stuff. How's it going? Any questions coming up? Anything you want to float by me? I have ideas for today, by the way. Ooh, here's a cool thing. I'm going to try this. We're going to try this. It should tell me, hey, Chelsea, you could tell me, are you seeing the comments showing up on the screen? I think they'd be appearing like right in here. I'm doing a beta test on something and I want to see if it actually works. We'll find out. So here's the deal. Since I'm kind of waiting for some engagement here, there are so many things to catch up on. First of all, I've got us scheduled, so we'll be consistent. We're every Saturday, even when I am out of town. If you look at the schedule of events, you'll see that every Saturday, 8 a.m., I'll be here. And I even have a road show one. We're going to be in the UP. In fact, I will be there with Pour Over celebrity Bruce Rivard, who shows up in this stream quite a bit. He'll be there. I'm officiating a wedding that weekend, and I think the night before. So we'll see how I sound. We'll see how I do. But I'm planning to be there Saturday morning, bright and early. I also have every other Thursday one of these planned, except the week of the wedding, because we will be driving to the UP that night. I'm not going to do a happy hour, but there is one next week, and then I think it's going to be 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks for the next happy hour. We'll see. So I want to know if we can see any comments in the side. So if anyone wants to write any comments, let me know. And I want to know, are they popping up? Because on my screen, they're not popping up. I also have the, I should actually put an invite on here. If anybody wants to join me, we have that ability again. Want to join in? Use this link. Boom. There we go. So let's see. It's been a while since I've done one of these. So we went to New York, and I have lots of thoughts about that. I did a couple of little live vignettes from there. Those of you that were watching, I know a lot of people saw it on Facebook, but I don't know if you saw it. Yes. Look at that. Fantastic. The comments show up. So we went to New York, and quite a great experience. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and talk about all my love of New York. But boy, this is my first time there, and I am ready to go back. I really loved it. Um, but from a marketing standpoint, if you watch those uh, videos that I made, uh, the videos here. Now I'm going to try something and see if it shows up on the other side. It does. Chelsea, I'm a boring old lady, so I'm washing dishes, but I'll chime in when I can. When you are done with your dishes, at least on here, write about this thing where you're going to be the face of horror, like what link people can go to, because hey, let's get everybody here supporting you and making it happen. Uh, okay. So I made those videos and I was teasing a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. So that's what we're going to do to start us off. But do not hesitate to jump in. This is happy hour. We're hanging, right? First thing, we went shopping. We went down to Madison Avenue. And while we were there, we went in. I wanted to go into some of the higher end shops. Um, I always find it interesting to shop high end malls, high end shops, and see what displays look like, what the customer service is like. It can be really telling. Way back in my master's, I had to do that for a class. I had to go shop a high end item, and I had to take three places. One, I went to Saks Fifth Avenue in Chicago, like down on Michigan. I went to Nordstrom. I went to, oh no, I'm sorry, Macy's in Woodfield, which is a mall out in the suburbs. I went to Sephora, and then I went to, I forget what the other one was. It's not Sephora. It's another. It's like a lower end. And here was the crazy thing. First of all, the high end, the Saks Fifth Avenue was spectacular. The person helping us was amazing. All the displays were great. Everything was, I mean, it was everything we talk about on here of curb appeal and know your stuff and believe in it and all the stuff. All the marketing was like dead on. It was great. Uh, when I went to Sephora, which was definitely, oh no, Sephora was really good. It was Ulta I went to. That was the fourth one. Ulta, terrible. This I was asking for a specific perfume, and I wanted to see how they handled it. The person stood behind the counter and pointed and said, "It's over there." Didn't tell me where, just said it's over there. I went over there, and oh, guess what? The display was broken, so there was an empty bottle that was cracked, and the cologne or perfume was out of it. It was like, that's helpful. Nobody came to help me. Everybody walked away. In fact, I waved my hand at somebody, like, can I get some help? And she said, I'll be right with you. And then never, I watched her go in the back and she disappeared. Uh, Macy's, I thought was going to be just under Saks Fifth Avenue. And it was just barely above that Ulta experience. At least the bottles weren't cracked, but it was pretty much the same. And then Sephora, which is, a mid-level, supposed to be mid-level, like below Macy's on the food chain, was spectacular. The staff was great and everything. Their displays don't look as high-end as Saks Fifth Avenue, but when we talk about curb appeal, when we talk about your business, maybe you can't afford to do a Saks Fifth Avenue type look. It was impressive. So when we were in New York, and we went to the Saks on Fifth Avenue. I mean, it's nice. I have to say I was not nearly as impressed in the display as I was when we were in Paris. I thought Paris, the displays, even though it was kind of chaos, was so far above Saks Fifth Avenue, which I looked at an app that said the 10 shops you must do in New York, and this was like number one. No, not impressive. It was okay. It was good, but I was not impressed. And where I really wasn't impressed is not addressed by anybody. Nobody really talked to us. Number one, tourists, you're looking around. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're doing. Number two, this is the big one. So I'm being critical because it was not as good as the one in Chicago from what I experienced. But this is the big thing. More than half of the counters where I saw people working on their phones. Why weren't we addressed? Why wasn't I talked to? They were on their phones doing stuff. And I would see 2, 3 people clumped together and, like, looking at it and then holding the phone up and kinda laughing, and I'm like, "They're just looking at memes. They're just wasting company time, company money, whatever." Uh, Very unimpressive. So, uh, I'll get to this in a second, Chelsea. I see what you're writing. Uh, so yeah, it's not that I'm criticizing. I mean, I'm giving critical thought on it, but you guys, when we talk about this for your business, and I don't care if it's your website, I don't care if it's you're doing a live event, I don't care if you have a shop, a restaurant, whatever, an oil change, a facility that does oil change. This is what it looks like. If you're standing there looking at your phone, if you're not engaging with customers, I've talked about it in Artist Alley. I'll see people, you've got Artist Alley at Comic-Con, you've got, all the artists and writers and everybody sitting at their booths. And there are people that have lines, and those are usually people either sitting there and really engaging, or they stand up and they talk to people. And then I see people sitting in chairs, looking at their phones, looking bored. And they don't have anybody there. And they say, "Oh, I don't know why I don't have anybody." That's exactly why. And that's what I saw at Saks Fifth Avenue. It was not very busy. And I mean, you don't know. You don't know if we were there. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm not buying a $10,000 dress for Maeve that day, but maybe I am. You can't judge that. Also, don't you think every dollar counts? If I buy a $100 purse, that's your low end purse. It's $100. $100 counts on your bottom line. We didn't used to have phones to get distracted like that. And I'm not being old man shaking my hand at the sky saying, we didn't have phones. But the reality is you didn't have phones. You didn't allow that distraction. Your bosses, if you did something that was outside of paying attention, they reprimanded you or they talked to you. Do I think it needs to be so militant? No. Do I think that you should be aware my job is to engage with customers? I'm not going to stand here looking at my phone. So that was one thing I really noticed. Saks Fifth Avenue was where it was super evident, but I did notice it quite a few places, and it really bothered me because I was like, that's not cool. Now, the outside of there, visuals on the street were pretty much phenomenal. It was inside that I was unimpressed. I thought the windows were okay. They were good. They were better than what people are doing in Chicago right now. I think the Chicago windows are not. It's like it's your curb appeal. This is your chance to capture attention, stir the imagination, make people want to come in. And instead, I see, a mannequin in a dress. You could go to Ross Dress for Less and see the same thing, right? But outside the visuals and the city itself, they got it going on. They're paying attention. I talked about it in my video about being in Central Park and how beautiful it was and how it was curated to look like this. There was an artist involved whose canvas was plants and his paints were plants. The park was his canvas. And if you read the book Devil in the White City, half of it is about J.J. Holmes, about the serial killer in Chicago, and the other half is about the White City, the World's Fair in Chicago. But they really get into the architecture, who the players were, how it all came to be. And there was the guy who did Central Park was also involved in this. And it was talking about how when he was designing how the gardens would look, he paints a picture. He uses certain things that bloom at certain times and colors that go next to each other a certain way. So like throughout the year, even in the winter, it's a living canvas. It evolves and changes according to something that's carefully curated. Do you have to be so particular with your business? Well, maybe not, but maybe if you have that, you should. It's just like integrated marketing where everything should have kind of a similar look, a similar feel. It should all be thought out. Each one of your things should be thought out. And I know, small business, I'm an entrepreneur. There's not enough time in the day to do all that. I'm just planting a seed for you. That wasn't a pun based on this conversation either. I'm just planting a seed. I want you to think about it, because what it may do is, if there's 100 things you could do, it may plant a seed that makes you change one thing, and that one thing really makes a difference for you and for that customer that goes like, "Oh my god, I love this." And you go, "That was worth it. It was worth looking at that and figuring it out." So, okay, let's put Chelsea's thing up. We're gonna put this on a couple of times. So, Chelsea. Now, wait a minute, Chelsea. You're not saying what they have to do. You just put all your social medias on here. ChelseaBurtonDunn.com, of course, fourhorsemanpublications.com. TikTok, you're on as Chelsea Burton Dunn author, and four underscore horseman underscore publications. And of course, you can find us pretty much every platform you can think of too, except X. Okay. But that's not the thing that's going to win you this face of horror. I want you to tell us about that. I don't even know if you're on right now. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, Chelsea, I'm trying to help you out. I'm actually kind of surprised. We don't have an audience. I had pretty good response to this today, but I'm not seeing it. Let's look up Chelsea Burton Dunn, author, and new books coming out. What am I doing? The Face of Halloween. Will I survive? It's up to you to decide their fate. You'll decide who will haunt the pages of Rue Morgue magazine and claim $3,000. Come on now. I'm going to share this right here. I'll get it off of here. You go in, and right now she's fourth. Let's push her over the top. Vote for Chelsea! Exclamation point. There's the link. And in fact, I think I can do it without so much gobbledygook on there. Let's see. When it starts adding the stuff after the question mark, it's usually not worth it. There we go. I'm going to ditch that and switch it to the one without the question mark. Delete comment. Sorry, Chelsea. You'll be back. You'll be back. Deleted. Okay, here we go. Vote for Chelsea to be the face of Halloween. Right there. Share referral link. No. Why isn't it putting the link on there? There we go. Okay. So there's an interesting thing you can do too, is things like that, because there are contests and things. It's always worth looking at them and seeing, is there something I can get involved in? I know a guy who won best social media marketer of the year a few years ago in Chicago at an event. And I hadn't talked to him in years. And then he said, "Oh, hey, I won this." I'm talking to him and he's like, "Oh, I do this. I'm in marketing too. I won this best social media." I said, "Wow, where did you win this?" And he said some group, and I'm like, I've never heard of this. And yet on all of his stuff, he promotes the fact that he won social media marketer of the year. He puts it on things. And you know what? It's effective because it has gotten him into things. I've seen it on his stuff where people say things to him about like, "Oh, we'd love to have you come on. We see you won social media marketer of the year. We'd love you to come on and talk about it from this perspective." I'm like, he won it from some dinky little thing, but what did he do? He signed up for a contest, submitted something, and he won. And he was able to leverage that into other things. For your business, you can do the same thing, right? Let's say it's him and he opens a pizza business. He can have the thing, but then he can also have a banner Congratulations to owner blank, blank, blank for winning Social Media Marketer of the Year. It draws attention. Chelsea doing this, I want her to win. It draws attention to her, but she can also use this to market. She can use it. It's fodder for the cannon, right? She can say, I'm trying to win this and promote it through her different social channels. And frankly, you can promote it a lot more than you would other things. And you may go, oh, it's annoying. People see it and then they don't want to do it. I don't care. Post it once a day, post it twice a day. I don't care. Post it enough that it's going to interact with people at different times, right? And it's finite. It's like a promotion. It's one thing. But what is it doing? It's associating you in the customer's head with horror. It says author Chelsea Burton Dunn. It's associating that. Trying to win the face of Halloween. Oh, she must write horror. Now, when somebody says, you know any good horror books? You know what? I'm in this marketing thing, and there's a horror author in there. Let me get her name. Does it sell one book? Does it sell 1,000 books? I don't know. I know somebody who makes pizzas. Oh yeah, that guy that won Social Media Marketer of the Year. You know what? What's his name? Here, let me look that up and see if I can find it. You're putting your brand in front of people in different ways. If all you do is say, I'm Chelsea, I'm a horror author, and all you do is go to horror groups, guess what? You're talking to the same choir over and over and over again. They already know. Do you want to stay in there? Yes. Do you want to promote in there? Yes. Do you want to always be looking for another one? Yes. I would challenge you to give yourself a 3-month challenge. In fact, maybe we'll make this into something where, let's go with one month, 30 days. For 30 days, every day, you find another group or outlet to put your stuff out. Now you have to think, what do I want to put out there? Right? 30 days. Find another place to put it. It's going to get real tough after 3 days. I'll give you a good example. Something easy. So let's say it's Chelsea. Chelsea has been on Inkblots, the Inkblots podcast, another show I do. She could get the link to that episode. She could go in to any groups that post podcasts, let you post episodes. For example, Chicago Podcasters Unite playlist, another one that I put up. She can go in there and without any restrictions, she can post it. She can write on there, hi, I'm Chelsea Burton Dunn. I'm a horror author. This is an interview with me if you'd like to hear about what I do. And if you'd like to order my books, it's got all the links in the show notes. Thanks so much for your time. Link. Bam. And you know what? Anybody that encounters it, it's like, oh, indie horror author, I'm interested. Tomorrow, do you have to do the same thing? No. The challenge is for 30 days, every day, find something. Maybe it's as simple as you found another Facebook group or another Facebook page. Maybe it's you figured out, okay, I've got an Instagram account and I posted this thing. Maybe I can talk to another horror author and say, hey, I want to promote your new book. If you'll promote my book, partnership, boom, new channel. You're on theirs. She's on yours. For 30 days, it's going to get hard. It's going to get really hard. But think outside of the box. Is it just an ad for your book, or is it I got a Stitch thing going on TikTok with somebody. I'm promoting a podcast I was on. I was able to promote my book. I was able to promote that I'm doing this Halloween horror thing. That's another channel. I signed up for this contest today. That's day 14. I'm signed up for this contest, and every day I have to promote something on it. It's another channel. So I think I'm going to have to write something up about this. We'll call it, make some kind of 30-day challenge of growing organically by doing this. I'd like to say, what are your thoughts? But we don't really have a lot of people watching today. These nighttime ones are funny. I hear so often about people wanting this nighttime show, and I like doing it. I mean, I'm drinking coffee, but you can drink your coffee at night. It's nighttime. You can have an adult beverage. You can have warm milk. If you're my mom, you're sitting eating a Blue Bunny cone. You're not really partaking. That's okay. You're eating your Blue Bunny cone. Even she's not watching. She's not hearing this nice shout out. Uh, but for some reason, these Thursday nights, some work, some don't. I'm going to have to try the next one. This one I didn't promote until today because I thought last time I tried promoting days early and I got 0. When I did it on the same day, I got something. Today I did it on the same day and I got 0. The next one's already scheduled for 2 weeks from tonight. Let's see if I start promoting that, if it has any effect. We shall find out. So more about New York. When we were in we went into Times Square. Times Square is nuts. When you're there at night, there are a million people, it feels like. It feels very separated too, like everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Like it feels there's a incredible energy to it, but it's very strange. It's not like tourist time or everybody's trying to get into restaurants. It's like some people are there just socializing, some are touristy, some are hustling things. It's very strange. And then it's got those huge, electric billboards that I thought were a lot of fun. I was like, wow, this is really cool. I mean, the marketing is just blasting everywhere. Not good for introverts. Maeve and Molly were like, I need to leave. And I was like, wow, I want to come sit down here for like an hour and just take it all in. Not that I'm getting energized off of it, but I'm getting ideas for sure. One thing I saw that was spectacular, Wednesday had just dropped, right? And on Netflix. And of course, they're doing promos for that. Well, on this one building, it went around the corner like this. They had a big billboard and then a smaller billboard on top. The big one wrapped around, and then the two smaller ones were above it. And they were for different things. Like this was a car one, and they were real. It was a real car one, and up here it was a real like show that was happening and a real something. And then they obviously did a partnership ad with Wednesday because Thing came walking across the screen. Okay, so it would look like this, right? Just went up the screen. And when it went past the one bottom one, a Reese's ad had come up, and its fingers went in the Reese's, and then it went like this and went across the other screens, and it left chocolatey fingerprints across all the screens. It was phenomenal. They must have done, because they were real ads. They were not like fake ads that had Thing on them. It was something else, and they must have made a deal like, hey, we just want to do this across your screen. It'll grab a lot of attention to your screen, and it'll advertise Wednesday because, of course, when you saw it, you knew immediately it was Thing, and you were like, oh, they're doing a Wednesday ad. It was absolutely stellar marketing. I was knocked out. The other thing that I was really impressed by, it's weird. There's like the tchotchke touristy garbage in there. And then like they'll be on the one corner was this beautiful store, small, but just visually stunning. And we go inside and what do they sell? Sardines. Ta-da! That's it. I take that back. They also had some lobster in a can and some clams in a can. But 98% of what you saw in there was sardines. Oh, good. More people scheduling. So The thing is, the sardine cans were beautiful. They like it was all artwork in there. Everything was great. We asked them, we're like, "Do you sell enough sardines to justify this rent? Because it's got to be really expensive." And they said the sardines were expensive too. And they said, surprisingly, you don't have to sell that many comparatively to make the rent. Like yeah, we make it. Do we make a ton off of it? No, but we get tons of tourists coming in and a lot of people buying stuff. And they said there are weeks where we blow the doors off and we have to order more to really restock. And we're like, wow, a sardine store. But they got it right. The curb appeal was beautiful. Inside, the user experience was great. I'm big on the user experience, as you guys know. It was all just awesome. And like I said, then there's the touristy things, T-shirts and shot glasses and all that in a shop, and somebody standing out front trying to get you to get Broadway tickets at a discount from them and whatever. And then I went in the middle of all of it and stood in the middle. I mean, in the middle of this chaos, and did with my phone a pour over marketing. So if you go to the Facebook page, you can see this little thing. I'm actually going to cut that down just a little bit and put it on TikTok and put it on as a Substack because they make great little bite-sized talks. That seems to be the biggest problem I'm having with all of this, all the things I'm creating, is having the time and the wherewithal to make the short video stuff. It's something that is not like I got all this other stuff I do, and I know I should be doing that, and I can't seem to execute that. So now I'm determined to get this stuff making money so I can hire somebody to help me with that part of it, which would draw a lot more. Okay, so New York, once again, spectacular. One thing after another, and I'm sure I'll address these in future episodes, but like the restaurants, it was just like when we were in Paris, just like when we were in London, and I talked about how the restaurants had just unique themes, like effort was put in. I mean, literally all except one restaurant that we went into, the effort was put in. Very unique. They understood value. They understood what they were doing. Like it is super competitive there. And you can tell because even the little hand roll sushi shop that is the size of my laundry room, the whole thing, their whole business is not even as big as my laundry room, I don't think. Yet it was a unique experience. They were awesome. You want a case study on what to do, you go there with just that in your mind. What do these places look like? I do a thing called Coffee Palooza, where when I travel, I try to get to all the roasters I can, the top coffee in town, and taste it. And I love taking pictures of the interiors. I love coffee shops, right? If you got a boring one, shame on you. They don't need to be. And it was like everything was a coffee shop there because they all had that unique experiential feel. Why do coffee shops have it? Because at the end of the day, they're just serving coffee, right? I mean, they're serving milk and other drinks, but they're a coffee shop technically. It's not like something with a really varied menu of other things. They have hot and cold drinks, kind of like the sardine shop. So it's up to them to give you a reason to come in. You can go to McDonald's and get McCafe, no experience, coffee's fine. Or you can come here, pay triple the amount, but you get a little bit of experience because that's what we're selling. And if you're not doing it, once again, shame on you. Well, New York, what we were feeling in each of these restaurants is we only had one that was kind of a dud. And even that wasn't that much of a dud. We went into one coffee shop, though. This place was great. Coffee was phenomenal. It had two sides, little coffee shop on the one side. We were able to get a gluten-free dessert. We got coffee. The owner, super nice, very cute, like curb appeal, everything was there. It was a doggy coffee shop. In the other room that was closed off, you could pay $5 and you could go in there and have your coffee with dogs. So people can bring their dogs in there. People are sitting in there. I saw people in there just reading the paper, their dogs sitting at their feet. But it's a comfortable way for them to have their experience with dogs. And my God, the dogs were so cute. And we didn't have dogs. And we were just like, We were tempted. Do we spend $15 for the three of us to go in just to sit in a room with dogs? Now, we did do this with cats one time at a cat cafe, but that's a different thing. You pay the money, you get an hour in there to snuggle cats, and they are like all over you. Very different than, hey, that guy's got his dog and his dog's friendly, but you go scrub, scrub, and then they go, "Whir," and then they move over. It's like, okay. But I loved the whole concept. And we kept finding that like all over the place. And I want you to look at your business. I don't care what it is. Are you able to bring the experience? Even if it's an online business, there's whole schools of thought on how to make your website be experiential, how you follow where their eyes are going and put buttons and put things that attract in different areas. It's hard. If you're not a designer, you're in trouble. I'm ham-fisted designer. I do okay, but not what I'm talking about. This is a case where when I'm ready to up the game, I want to take the Southgate Media Group one and work with a web designer and say, okay, let's get this open portal. Let's build one page, and then I'll take over. But at least I can get something experiential going on right away. Okay. Wow. Comments are slow tonight. For a happy hour? Oh, did I hear somebody say crappy hour? Damn it. Oh, no, that was me. It's actually not. I'm having quite a good time. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. It's hard. You at the moment before, sometimes you can talk yourself out of doing something or justify not doing it. And I was kind of doing that, although I had made my decision usually not last minute, but like the night before I said, okay, nobody's clicked that they're going to it, or I haven't promoted it yet. Let's wait until I'm fully functioning again and we can do this. And I waited. And today, fully functioning. Saturday morning, I'll be back at 8 a.m. Central, fully functioning. Maybe a little rough, but fully functioning. Like I said, we're back. We're back and we're going to make this thing fly. Still have our buy me coffee. I got that down at the bottom. So are there any questions? Is there anything that you guys want me to address? Why I look so red? I'm very warm. It's that time of year when you start wearing pants and stop wearing shorts, then you realize I should have worn shorts because I closed the window and closed the sliding door, and now I'm really hot. That's what happens. Let's see. What else did I want to cover? Let's get out of New York for a second. So there were other things. I think Saturday we're going to talk about AI. It's such a big topic, and I know we've covered it here before, but I have some takes on it that I want to share. And I've been watching one of the things we had said we were going to do on here. It was going to be Maeve and I, but Maeve is in school and doing so many things. I'm not going to ever do it. I have the entirety of Social Media Marketing World. They do a conference. I have the whole conference downloaded. It's like, I don't know, 84 hours of lectures about marketing. To me, nerd heaven. Well, the keynote, it all opened with the future of marketing, how to thrive in an AI enhanced marketer. And I actually have to go back and rewatch it because I didn't take very good notes. I thought it's a keynote. He's going to be addressing what we're going to be getting into, but he goes deep pretty quickly into some practices and what is good about it, because you can hear the audience groan, because AI is very touchy. Now, I know we've had, like, Michael was on here who is all in on AI and is like, do. Then if I brought Molly on, she would be like, it's the devil. Don't ever use it. I disagree. I think that it's misused. And because of that, the abuse of the tool is very damaging, very bad. But I'm not one that says we need to get rid of it or anything. I'm saying it's a tool that you could have in your toolbox. And if you use it properly, it can be very beneficial, a huge time saver, and an enhancement to what you're doing. And what I mean by that is you shouldn't use it for creating your ideas. You're a you're a functioning human being. You've got a brain. You should be using that to create your ideas. Then you can go in and use social media, or I'm sorry, use AI to I'm sorry, I'm scrolling trying to find this one thing. You keep hearing my thing click. Uh boy, I can't find it. Uh you find that if you use it as a tool to enhance what you're doing, to give you ideas, it's going to give you good results. It's going to give you things that benefit your needs. I'll give you an example because I've been using it some. Molly yelled at me. She said, "You're smart. You shouldn't be using it." No, I don't use it to write my blogs. I don't use it to write my things. What I use it for is uh, so I was writing these blogs this week. I decided we're going to really go for it with Shortheads, which is a short film, indie film review page that we had started building, and I've got all this stuff written. Sorry, my foot's stuck. All this stuff written for, but it was not live. Only a little bit of it was live. And I thought, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to that well and work with it. And what I did was I took what I wrote from one and I threw it into ChatGTP and I did the prompt. You're a professional blogger and SEO expert. Uh, Take this, add keywords where necessary, something like that. It changed maybe 2 words in the whole thing I wrote, but it did what you need for keywords, where it highlighted them and made them the right type of tag. And it added a couple of keywords that I had not put in it that were vital. I was like, how did I not say this in here? Now, here's the deal. It's a tool. The next one I wrote, I looked at what it had written. I looked at what I'd written and said, aha, these are the keywords. And I just did it myself. So I'm a fan of using it like you would an eraser on a pencil. Where we get into the trouble, where people talk about all the negatives and the energy use and all that, yeah, it's a big problem. It's a big problem that's not getting addressed because people want to use it. They want what they have that's fun, but it is a big problem. But a lot of that is coming from people using it to create video content, things that eat up resources. You know, when they make these deep fake videos, they use enormous resources. That's the AI stuff that's bad. Or when people are using it, when you're feeding it like everything an author does so that it can write a book like that author would. I always wanted a sequel To Kill a Mockingbird written like Harper. Here, let's have ChatGPT write it. We'll put all To Kill a Mockingbird in. We have an idea. Here's the news story idea. Here's a paragraph about it. Write it like Harper. That's heinous because it will. But is it Harper? It's not Harper Lee. Will it be able to fool the average person? Maybe. Is it going to be what Harper Lee would do? No. Not only shouldn't it be done, it creates bastards. And same thing with marketing. If you use it to create your blog, like I've seen people do this, give me a list of this is not now here's a great example for a tool. Create a list of blog ideas for a blog about podcasting. And it'll give you, say, I want 40 ideas. It'll give you like 40 ideas. Use some of them, ditch others. It's just an idea generator that gets you going. I've used it, and then I go back and I'm like, wait, no, I like this one. I like this one. I added this one. I don't just use what it spits out. But I've also seen, and I've seen people talk about this, like I make money by doing my blog on autopilot. They have it all fed into ChatGTP. They say create the next 20 blog posts based on this. It spits it out. They put it up. They put their advertising on it. They're making money. They didn't think of a damn thing. And by them not thinking of a damn thing, What is it doing? It's regurgitating other ideas, which is what it does. It takes other ideas and it puts them into a blender. It's regurgitating other ideas, and sometimes it doesn't know what it's regurgitating, so it regurgitates the wrong stuff. I am not a fan of it being used to replace the creative brain. And I am not a fan of it being used to create all this video and audio and all that and pictures. I mean, it's getting to the point where you can't tell what's real. Um, there was a picture released today, and I don't want to get into it, but it was a picture, and right away I saw people saying it's fake, and they're pointing out on it where the AI is, and I'm like, wow, I didn't see the AI in there. Then I was reading an article that said, no, this still came from a video. Here's the video. It's not fake. Yet all these people could see the fake artifacting in it because we're so hypersensitive to it. But there wasn't any fake in it. They had the video and you could see exactly where it happened. You're like, oh, wait, that's not faked. But then there was another video released that looked real. And I saw somebody write on here, look, I've been in this 4 years. I know how this AI stuff looks, how it feels. This is not real. Here's how you can tell it's Uncanny Valley. He told you. And then he created a little 5-second segment. He goes, I'm not going to waste time and resources on this, but here's a little 5-second segment that I swear could have looked like it was lifted out of this video. It looked exactly like it. And he said, I can't do that with something real. It would look, there are tells. So be careful if you're believing everything you see. That's where there's a problem also. As a tool, it can be wonderful. When we had, I can't remember his name on, he was talking about using it as a creator. He gets an idea for a book. He kind of maps out the idea. He goes to ChatGPT, says, take on the role of a science fiction author. And then he puts the synopsis of what he wants. And he says, create a storyboard of this. Sketchy, right? I don't like him making it for art because of, once again, resources, but okay. But he said what it's done, like, is sometimes it takes the story and then I'll see little aspects and he goes, oh, wait, there's a nugget I had missed, which is the same thing that happens when you hand it to a bunch of readers and you have a sit back session and everybody kind of gives you ideas and you go, oh, maybe I could lean into this more. He's just using an electronic version of that because he can't get his friends together for it. I'm okay with that. I don't love it creating a storyboard, but you know what? Who am I to judge? I mean, maybe he's using software that he's got downloaded on his computer that's doing it. Then it's not using resources out there. It's when you're using it through the internet, all those AI tools you always see, you got to be super careful. On the other hand, when somebody gets on their soapbox about it and they're like, no, never use, but you are using it, you don't know it. I use SEMrush to look up for, keywords in that. It doesn't say it's an AI tool. It's an AI tool. It's using AI, artificial intelligence, to take what I need and filter it down to give me what I need. It's artificial. When you use Canva, there's AI built into it. Now it's built into, and I find it super annoying. It's built into Facebook. It's built into Google. I find it super annoying. You ever read those AI things, like you Google something and the first thing it has is like a paragraph that answers your question. But if you're not careful, though, that's AI giving you that answer. I found it where it's completely wrong. It's because it picked up on a few keywords that I had in my question that it thought that was the answer. And I'm like, I did not want to know this. Then you got to go digging for the articles and find the actual real thing. Okay. See, I've been talking about it. We're going to talk about that on Saturday. And I bet I'll get, because I'm going to put out there that we're going to talk about AI, I bet I get other people that jump in to talk all about it. One thing I can guarantee is this is not AI, because if I was doing AI, I would give me a lot more hair up there. It seems to be abandoning ship. Other news, there is, I can't give this one away, but I am working on something that I teased, probably 2 years ago. And I am within I may have it finalized tomorrow. That's how close I am. Because the thing that was holding it all up happened this week. And now I'm in a really good position to make something really cool happen with this. So there's your tease. Maybe Saturday I will be able to say what it is. I've talked about it on here before, but nobody's going to go back and watch 2 years worth of pour over marketing to see if they can figure out what I was talking about. I certainly am not. Although I guess if we get somebody to chop up shows and make little segments, we're going to have to. That's where my problem is. I don't know where to chop them. I don't know what, because like I'll watch people's videos and I'm like, well, this is just kind of pulled out of nothing. Do I have bite-sized bits that are worth making little things for? Filling up a TikTok. I think I do. I think there's plenty. I think there's been plenty in this episode that could go on a TikTok. I don't know. Oh, my life. All right. We've got about 2 minutes. Any questions before I bail on this thing? Saturday morning, we will be here. We will be talking, at part of it at least, AI and marketing. And I'm going to bring stuff I've learned from that video, share some of that with you guys, because let's face it, I'm going to try and walk through these things and filter out the wheat from the chaff, give you stuff that's like, here's like 5 keys that I learned, so you can benefit from those without having to sit through 82 hours of talks. So yeah, Saturday that starts up. And I think that's how Saturdays are going to go. I think I'm going to make it so Saturdays, each time I'm kind of going through a subject that I've watched one of these videos about, and we can AMA. And then for this show, we'll kind of loose talk, AMA this thing. If we have people asking questions. If. She said, if. There you go. How do you win something for that? What can I give away? Tell me what movie that's from. She said, if. Actually, she says, I said, if. Can you name that movie? Okay. Nobody's naming. We've got a lurker. So I'm going to lay it out there. It is Cinderella. The mother, the evil stepmother, says it. But what if I said, if? You can go to the ball if you get everything done, and I approve. I got everything done, but I don't approve. But you said I could go. I said, if. I know I got the words wrong, but I said if I got right. I can remember 3 words and get it right. All right. We're going to end. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Be here. Subscribe to the Substack. Let's see if I can put it on here one more time. If you are interested in having some personal coaching, consulting, where it's more one-on-one as opposed to this, where I'm just rambling, reach out to me. Just go to, you can reach me at rob@smgpods.com. That goes right to me. Any of the places you see these shows, you could always DM me from those, or you could put a note on it and say, hey, Rob, I'd really love to talk to you, and I'll reach out and we'll figure it out. Pour Over Marketing does have a Substack. So far, I've been doing a lot of notes. I did have a strategy, but with all this summer, all that went away. So here we are in the fall. I'm going to start that strategy where there's going to be regular postings and regular things to do on that Substack. If you go to robsroundup.substack.com, it will take you to where all of my Substacks are. And like I said, there's 3 current. I'm thinking about a 4th, maybe a 5th. Not sure. If you want to check out Short Heads, you can go to southgatemediagroup.com, click on blogs at the top. It'll bring up all the blogs we have. And there's one in the upper left-hand corner that says Short Heads. And you can see some of these short film movie reviews and how we're promoting different film festivals. And it's really cool. We love that stuff so much. And if you have any short film that you want reviewed, We don't do critiques. We just review and let people know whether they're worth watching. Uh, Hit us up. Or if there's a festival that you're involved with or that's near you and you're like, hey, I love this place. They're doing a festival in a winery or whatever. Send me the info and we'll post it on there. All right. So many other projects. Maybe we'll save that for the next time we do this. I'll have a list of projects and how they're exactly working out. And that way you guys can know kind of what we're up to and where you can contribute and what you can do. But for now, we'll call it a night. I will see you Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Be there, or I guess still be asleep. But when you're asleep, you're not catching that worm. You get it? The early bird catches the worm. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you hopefully on Saturday.